Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Suzerain live streamed playthrough. Looking forward to all the joyous events we can expect with today's session. We know we're about to get into some drama, so really excited to see how it plays out and if divorce is an actual thing in this game, I guess. I feel like if there's ever going to be a time to find out, it's going to be, sometime today, seeing how things are about to go down. I hope you all have had a wonderful, wonderful week behind you. I hope you have an exciting weekend ahead of you. I know for quite a few folks, this is a long weekend right now. We got Labor Day weekend, so Monday is the day off. Maybe some of you got an extra long weekend by taking the Friday off cleverly as well. Hope you have some wild plans if that's the case. And just a warm welcome to everybody who's come through and is hanging out. We got Nedas, Omkar, Classified, Natalie P, Ren, Jazzy B. How's it going, folks? Atonicus, Seth Moore. First time catching the morning stream. Excited to be here. Well, I'm glad you could be here, buddy. Hope you have a good time. I imagine you're all caught up with all the VODs and everything. I'm glad you can make it. The Rat Bastard, how's it going, buddy? Been some time. Kate Percy, how goes? And Cedar Emperor reminds you of Saddam Hussein. I mean, I guess the color scheme it definitely has some West Asia / Middle Eastern vibes, I suppose. Best way to start the weekend. Kind words, Ristle, kind words, appreciate it. Valium Gaming, how's it going? Mask Man, how goes? Caspar Renson, how fares, bud? Jazzy B, man, I'm glad to see. I haven't, I've read all the comments, but I'm gonna sit down and reply to all of them. Either tonight or tomorrow. There's a couple things I'm like trying to stay focused on and finish for this weekend. But I've of course been paying attention to the comments they roll, and I'll be responding to each and every one of them. But that Bannerlord finale episode has been a long time coming, and it was difficult to do in more ways than one. Not just technically speaking, of course, but just trying to hit the right notes and everything, and from a storytelling perspective. But it was a fun episode to produce. I had a lot of fun making it. But yeah, that's a wrap on our Bannerlord first Bannerlord playthrough, I guess, right? Satisfying and sad in equal measures. Glad to hear it. I was hoping to hit that balance. Heading to PAX right now, Seth Moore. Oh, that's awesome. Oh man, that should be a good time. It's funny. 2020 was the first year I was telling myself, I was like, okay, listen, I've been saying this for years and years. 2020, this year, I'm finally doing it. I'm going to go out to PAX. I'm going to go out to, E3. I'm going to do the circuit and kind of stay up to date with games before, even sooner than I typically try to be. And then, 2020 happened. Lucas, how's it going? What kind of playthrough is that? So here we are. Yeah, so we're definitely very open to bribery, more than we've ever been. We're also a bit of a traditionalist, so when it comes to things like family values, when it comes to things like military spending, solism versus not solism, this playthrough has been very much about, having that kind of traditionalist, old school way of thinking, and then at the same time, we're also very much interested in, lining our pockets, hyper-capitalism, not because of capitalism itself, but because it's the way for us to make the most money, because the more wealthy elite there are across our nation, the more of them, want to line my pockets so that they can get their favors and stuff. Artonicus, I couldn't have put that better myself. Exactly. What will be the next Bannerlord campaign? I'm not sure just quite yet. I'm going to be looking at some mods and stuff. There's a lot of options out there. If I stay with base game, it might be something Sturgian, or like the polar opposite of what we did last, both geographically and from a personality perspective, but nothing's set in stone yet. K Percy, I thought you were talking about 2020 when you said ruining your marriage, because we were gonna get, not ruining my marriage, we were actually gonna get married in 2020 as well, but that obviously got delayed because of 2020. But yes, I'm up to ruining my marriage in this playthrough. Yes, absolutely. Setria, glad you can make it. On the topic of watching the streams, let's hit that resume button and get to it, shall we? Man, I'm genuine. I'm equal parts excited and terrified for what's about to go down today. It's been a fun playthrough. I mean, again, for those of you who did not maybe watch our first playthrough, in our first playthrough, We were a lot more right down the middle, trying to make as many people as possible happy. We tried to do a mixed economy. The game didn't entirely love the idea of a mixed economy. At times I felt like it was giving me a mixed economy, but then went one way or another when the time to make a decision finally came. But yeah, you can't make everybody happy. We all know that, and we definitely found that out. We got clear confirmation for that. But that playthrough is so different from this playthrough, and it's just been such a joy. Like, enacting emergency powers, we have the secret police. Like, it's a completely different game. We know some of the major story beats that are coming up, but I have no idea how some of this stuff is going to play out. I'd mentioned Suzerain as one of like the gems from last year that you need to check out already. Like, this was already one of my highly recommended games, but I almost feel like it's gonna reprise that position for this year as well. Even though it released last year, I feel like it's been such an exciting just journey this year as well. I'd be hard pressed to not re-recommend it. You know what I mean? Oh man! Also, I just noticed men's swole. I love it. You think that's where all of our our Mr. Universe contestants come from? I couldn't help it. This is where all of our construction materials come from. Oh, I love this. Oh no, I need to stop looking for these because I will find plenty of them. Classified coming through with a super chat to kick us off today. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it greatly. Ooh, are we going with Ida or Ida? Your super chat, Classified. How do you say it? For now, I'll say Ida can't stop the super chats. I listen to Ease in my absence. Well, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. Again, as you know very well, it really helps support the channel, the streams, and everything, so I appreciate it greatly. I hope, with the reference you made there especially, I really hope that you're doing okay and everything's been, that things haven't been too shaken up. I hope everything's all right. I mean, it's been wild. I've been seeing some of the footage that's been coming out of, well, New York latest, I guess. And dang, I mean, yikes. There's no words, Found a spot in your backyard to get the phone working. Nice. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it greatly. Thanks for dropping in. It's absolutely huge. I appreciate it greatly, man. Thank you so much. Kai, I want a "we aren't evil, but we'll do evil things for the greater good" campaign. See, isn't that kind of what we're doing here? What is the greater good, right? What is the greater good, right? The suede denim secret police. We've come for your uncool Frank. Wait, hold on. All right, I think I'm taking a look at the chat here real quick. Want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm popping in and out again. Glad to be here, and I love it. I love it, Ren. Popping in and out sounds good. Well, hello, goodbye as you pop in and out. Let me know if you miss anything and need catching up. And Natalie, I saw what you said there. No, that's exactly. That's ruining the wedding, not the marriage. But it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so my brain is just words have no meaning at this time of day for me. Have little meaning for this at this time of day for me. Marriage, wedding, same thing. Y'all know what I meant. Y'all know what I meant. Yeah, 2020 was a ride. Let's talk about the ride we're about to go on though. So over at Benfey, we have the opening of the Benfey Festival. So this is a huge cultural event where, just as a reminder, our wife, our potentially soon-to-be ex-wife, wanted to give a speech. So there was a couple of issues about the speech she wanted to give. Just a quick recap, because it did happen a long time ago. But issue number one is that she wanted to replace a person who I'd already promised a speaking kind of position to, and it was a person, or rather it is a person who has a decent amount of sway as far as the politics of our nation is concerned. So, that's not cool. Like, there's already arrangements. She wanted to replace this person. It's just like, well, that's unfair to that person, and it's it's nepotism, and I won't stand for that. That's issue number one. Issue number two is that she wanted to speak about women's rights and her perspective on the woman's role in the nation and in the household, etc., is very different from, Anton's perspective, our perspective on that role and what it should be. Our conversation with our wife didn't go so smoothly either, because we were kind of just like, what you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean you want rights? What are you talking about, right? So she didn't like that. And I think we're going to see some repercussions. Sam Hampton, no worries, buddy. We just kicked off. I don't know if you're able to stay today or not, but I'm glad you were able to drop in at least. But yeah, we are back on schedule again. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. The regular streaming schedule is back at it. Natalie, I see everything, almost. When you say greater good, I can't help but think of the Incredibles bit. Interesting. When I hear greater good, all I can think of is Hot Fuzz. She's trying to override democracy in favor of a rather unconstitutional movement and use nepotism while doing it. All right, let's take a look at this festival and see what it has in store for us. Our motorcade slowly made its way towards the magnificent Benfey High Arts Center. Night was falling, and the festival was about to begin. I flipped through the brochure that had been given to us at the hotel. On the front page, there was the face of Curtin Lest, Mayor of Anrica. He was a Benfey native who had a long-standing relationship with the city's current mayor and had been personally invited to make tonight's opening speech. The Benfey Festival was one of the biggest events of the year. It originally marked the start of the annual religious pilgrimage, a weeks-long journey still undertaken by devout Neurists. But today it was better known as a cultural celebration that drew thousands of revelers to the city. There were film screenings, concerts, theater and dance performances, art exhibitions, and celebrity-studded nightly galas. The opening ceremonies were broadcast on TV and watched by millions. As the car slowed, a coterie of reporters and security guards rushed to meet us. I turned my attention to Monica. Since I'd refused to let her make the opening speech, her attitude towards me had changed. She now only spoke to me if I asked her a question or if it was something important concerning the children. See, like, just too emotional, man. Just too emotional. Come on. God. Everything, Natalie, everything. Talk about the right way to make Anton a sandwich. Oh dear. You know, apparently, so studies have been done actually. Apparently, that if somebody else makes you a sandwich, the sandwich, your brain tells you the sandwich tastes better. Apparently, it doesn't have to be somebody specific, but if somebody else prepares your sandwich for you, I assume that applies to all meals. This was a study that was done years ago, so I don't remember the details. But I was like, well, that's interesting. All right, what to say here? You know what? I mean, two can play at this game of silent treatment. I don't know if I want to stoop to that level, though. Oh no, Natalie, she's being cold. Monica cold? Oh, dear Lord. Oh, dear Lord. You know what? Nah, I think I'm gonna call her out on her attitude problem here. I'm not asking for forgiveness. You know, I've got nothing to be forgiven for, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm gonna. What? Are you still angry about my decision? She didn't reply at all. She clearly did not want to pursue this topic any further. Yeah, me neither, so let's move on. As soon as Serge opened the door, we were enveloped by the roar of the crowd. The next few minutes were a blur of handshakes, photos, and reporters' questions. The onlookers cheered as we walked the red carpet to the newly built art center. We followed the guards through the cavernous white halls until we came to a set of arched doors leading to the auditorium. We waited outside as security did a quick sweep of the area, then headed in. I've been asked to make a quick set of remarks introducing Curtin Lest. I beckoned Monica to join me on the podium. I'm going to find my seat. Monica brushed past me, took her seat in the front row, and crossed her arms. I walked alone to the podium. Yeah, it'd be nice to do a playthrough where I'm willing to give up my my morals and my principles on the topic of nepotism and let her, you know, have her speech so that she can join me on the podium. See, that's one thing that I would have a hard time shifting from is the opinion on nepotism, because it's like it's such a real, like it's something that I've like seen firsthand. So it's just like every time it comes up, I'm just like, nah. Oh man, the First Lady of Coldland. Oh my God. Monica Cold, First Lady. So yeah, basically. That also works in reverse too. Usually, people who prepare food get more enjoyment out of other people eating it than actually eating it themselves. Yeah, I mean, it's like a content creation, I guess, just a different kind of content. It's edible content as opposed to audio-visual content. You get joy from seeing other people enjoy what you put out there, kind of a thing. Yeah, you know. I spoke for just a minute, reading a paragraph my speechwriter had churned out about the importance of the festival and Benfey to Sordland. I concluded by inviting Curtin Less, the mayor of Anrica, to the podium. I stepped down and joined Monica in the front row. Her arms were still folded. Welcome to the first day of the Benfey Festival. He paused for a moment to let the crowd cheer, and his eyes briefly met mine. I nodded. This is a night for the people of Benfey, indeed for the people of Sordland, to put aside their differences and come together in celebration. Yet as we unite for the festivities, we must remember the real reason we are gathered here. The crowd fell silent. The people were giving their full attention to what he had to say. This festival was founded around the principles of our cherished religion, Nurity. Yet, over the years, it has been severed from its sacred roots and become something else, something more perverse. An excuse for public drunkenness and grotesque displays of the flesh, an occasion for young women to parade their bodies and engage in lascivious behavior. As he went on, I could see Monica become increasingly agitated. What in the hell is he talking about? Lascivious behavior? What century does he think we live in? Oh, it's between 1 and 3 over here. I feel like 2 is a little too passive. 3 is just kind of like, man, I can't deal with you right now. And 1 is you know, putting the foot down. I feel like I'm going to go with 1. I feel like I'm going to go with 1. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like asking her to, like, if we're going to do this, let's double down, right? Let's ask her to quiet down here. I'm seeing a call for. She had her chance. 1, 1, 1. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with 1. What's the worst that could happen? Nimai D'Souza, how's it going, buddy? You didn't miss too much. We are just kicking off the festival at Benfey and having a conversation with Monica while that speech is being given. This speech about how this festival has turned into a display of all sorts of perverse behavior. And we're about to tell Monica to shut up. Let's not make our wife our enemy. Yeah, I mean, it's an important thing so this is the tough thing about role-playing sometimes, is like, it's an important thing to try and think like this Anton, right? We're asking Monica to be quiet, but that's not, it's the respectful thing to do. Somebody's giving a speech, you should be quiet. We're not, you know what I mean? Like, we have a justification, an entirely free, entirely sensible justification for what we're about to say. That's what matters. So, quiet. Be respectful. There's a speech going on. Shh, quiet. Monica turned back to watching the speech, a frown on her face. Perversion, hidden under the guise of art, is not befitting the beautiful city of... The crowd was becoming restless. Many of the younger attendees were murmuring in disagreement, while a few of the older ones were nodding vigorously. As I said, perversion hidden under the guise of art is not Enough! The hall fell silent. Monica rose and continued. Mr. Lest, it is not young women who are a disgrace to this fine festival, but you and your backwards puritanical attitudes which have been holding this country back for far too long. I'm tempted to watch the events unfold, but no, we gotta put the foot down, right? This is the put the foot down session over here, so I think I'm gonna tell her to sit down. She's making a fool of herself. We're making her an enemy of tradition will lie later. How do you mean, K. Percy? How do you mean? She has a gun in the purse, the worst that could happen? Dude, don't even... Can you imagine being assassinated by your own wife? That'd be pretty wild. That would be an entertaining turn of events in the game, not in real life. Maybe also in real life, but I'd rather it not be me there. Stefan Gultum, thank you very much for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the show, buddy. Again, if you are, you know what to do. Folks, if you're having a good time with Suzerain, don't hesitate to let me know down below. Again, that's why we're doing this second playthrough. I feel like after this playthrough, though, we're probably going to switch gears to something else. For the time being, at least, the plan is to maybe switch gears to Disco Elysium. I want to play that game for a while. And it's kind of a similar vibe as far as, you know, it's an RPG, a lot of text-based stuff. It's different. It is very different, but it's close enough that I can make that leap in logic. If you guys are having a good time, again, let me know whether you're watching live or the VOD, because it does help me just make decisions for the channel, folks, as always. As always. I think we avoided nepotism here, but we let her pursue women's rights later. I'll let democracy show how foolish her ideas are. We can also veto it if we have to. Blame the Bloods. Oh, man. I mean, that's definitely a way to go about it. But no, I think we have to stay true to ourselves, right? And she's our wife. We have to protect her from her foolishness. Like, we can't allow her to make a fool of herself, because then I'm the husband of a fool, right? Like, and again, if we're being that kind of a traditionalist, then let's double down on that, right? If she's not just embarrassing herself, she's embarrassing me, she's embarrassing Frank, she's embarrassing everybody. Monica, sit down. You're making a fool of yourself. No, I will not sit down this time. Monica turned to face the audience, speaking loud enough to be heard without a microphone. Women of Sordland, we must not let people like Mr. Lest use religion as a justification to demean and oppress us. Our time has come. Shocked gasps ran through the crowd. A few people rose and applauded. Curtin Lest waited to speak. I think Mrs. Rain is forgetting her place. What do you think my place is, Mr. Lest? The kitchen? This festival is not about your retrograde traditions. We are living in modern times now. It's 1954. And it isn't your place to decide how the people of Benfey, especially the women, should be celebrating their own festival. Monica, that's enough. What do you mean enough? I've barely even started. I looked at the podium to see Curtin Lest's piercing gaze on me. There would surely be a price to pay for this. Mr. President, could you please control your wife before she embarrasses herself any further? Okay. Either we go with a classic, Monica, get back in your goddamn seat. Feels like there's a good bit of punch to that one. Monica is starting her play for the big chair. Oh yeah, you think she wants to be the next president of Sordland? If we let her push for women's rights, she might be less inclined to divorce, though. True, but then how can we live with ourselves? If things, I mean, again, we could always veto, yes. But if we veto, she's not an idiot, right? She'll know what we're doing if we veto all the bills that get passed through. She'll know the moment we veto the first bill that the assembly passes that's pro-women's rights. She'll be like, that was entirely your fault, Anton. I want a divorce. So we end up at the same place, except we give up our dignity in kowtowing to her desires, in her frivolous desires, in one path. I would sleep with one eye open. For real, Flash. For real. Nah, I don't think she's capable of murder. Though she does have easy access to all the knives. I thought we were more a manipulator than traditionalist. We're a manipulator of people, yes, but at the same time, like, those are two. So we care about family values, right? And manipulating one's own wife, I don't think is what we would do. We would try to. We believe we are right here. We believe that our approach is the correct approach. And if anything, we feel bad that Monica feels differently. We don't want to encourage her to go down this path that is against our traditional values. We're trying to protect Monica from this folly. That's how I would see it. We're not doing this to manipulate her. We're not doing this to we're not trying to take advantage of her or our relationship with her. We're trying to help her. She's our wife. We love her. We care for her. And so we want to save her from this embarrassment and our family as a whole. That's how I see it. So that's why I'm hesitant to manipulate our wife, because, if we believe in family values truly, if we truly believe in a good family unit, then we wouldn't try to manipulate our significant other. You know what I mean? Am I making sense there? It's a tough thing to find that perfect line on, but that's where my head's at. This time thing, yeah, it is important to be soft as well. Like, yeah, I don't want to be. That's why I'm hesitant about one. As funny as it is to yell, I love yelling. Goddamn, it makes me think of Breaking Bad every time. As much as I like one, I feel like, yeah, we need to make sure not to upset her too much, right? We've been over this. Now is not the time. Sit down, please. I think it's just like softening it a bit. We might actually convince her, because again, what's important is convincing her. to calm down right now. I could also say, please finish your speech, but oh man, that's not just grounds for divorce. That's grounds for an assassination. I think the Supreme Court would be like, yeah, you're fine. That was fair. Monica, we've been over this. Now is not the time. Sit down, please. Bomac, my hope is I'm hoping to get back to schedule next week as of Monday with the regular releases. Maybe on Sunday actually. I was hoping as of the 1st, but then something ended up taking longer than I had expected, and it's completely thrown things off. So this is the last week I'm hoping that we're off schedule with the regular like kind of VOD content, as far as like Planet Zoo and Warhammer's new DLC that released 2 months ago now and all that kind of stuff. But I genuinely hope next week we're back on track. We should be back on track as of next week. Maybe hopefully Sunday with workers and resources and everything, and then a new Humankind playthrough. But next week for sure. Les is being rude to you via your wife. I mean, this is your typical. This is your typical like. Oh God, it's such a. There's so many things wrong with this statement from Curtin. But like, he's next to the mic right now, and he's an important figure. I do have to like kind of like smile and nod a little bit here. Have that man killed, Kai? I wish. The crowd was in uproar. I had to lean over to catch Monica's next words. I'm so sorry, Anton. Next time, I'll stay in the kitchen. She sat back down, seething. Curtin's voice filled the hall. Oh, man. Benfey has always been a beacon of culture, tradition, and religion. Many battles have been fought over this precious city. Army after army has tried to claim it for their own, but we fought back and won each time. We stand here thanks to the strong men who were able to protect their families, their lands, their way of living. Every day I praise God that we have succeeded so far. Scattered applause broke out from some of the older members of the audience. I leaned over to Monica. Oh, man. Why? Why, Anton? Just shut up and sit down. Now's not the time. Man needs to know when to just be quiet. Just be quiet. Les is being nasty to us. There's nothing wrong with what he is saying. To any other woman, that kind of tone or mood is encouraged with the president's wife? No. Yeah, I guess. But she, oh, man. It's such, I knew this was going to be a tough one to tackle because there's so many, fine, nuanced points here. Condolences to Partia. Well appreciated, Flesh 19. How's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it. Kai, is that sarcasm for it? Is that how important is that if in that if I were a despot? Smooth it over. Yeah, I think we should smooth it over. I mean, again, now that everybody can't hear us, I think I can be a little bit softer on her. We do still love her. We do still care about her emotions and how she feels about us, and she's the mother of my children, goddammit, also my wife. But I praise God he's only allowed to speak for another 2 minutes. Okay, that's hilarious. He sounds more like a priest than a politician. I mean, that almost feels like that's digging myself a hole there. It's like, well, if you feel that way, then why don't you stop him, One is I mean, I'm never seeing Monica again. Let's go with 3. It's a little funny. It might be a little too late, but hey, laughter solves everything, right? I praise God he's only allowed to speak for another 2 minutes. Monica said nothing. Her gaze fixed forward. I can almost see myself saying that line with the bad joke eel face on my face, come on, come on. Yet the traditions that form the very fabric of our society are being tested. Even as I speak, he looked pointedly at Monica. We must stay true to our values so that Sordland can prevail, so that Benfey can prevail. With these at the forefront, I am convinced that Sordland will continue to be the greatest nation in the world. I invite every single one of you to celebrate our roots and our traditions at this holy Benfi festival. I hereby declare the festival open. Praise God, praise Sordland, praise Benfi. Amorgna Escor. Vector insists da. Most of the people in the hall finished the decades-old saying, including me. Monica's lips moved, but she didn't say the words out loud. Oh, this is treason then. I don't know why, but if I were a despot god, if I were a rich man stuck in my head... Wait, sorry, what wait, hold on, I don't catch the reference there, unfortunately. It's in the real world of conservative politicians, it starts to sound like... In the real world... Oh my god, Sam. I'm sorry, that took me a second to interpret, and I was like, whoa, that turned dark real quick. Darker than the dark theme background I had to read it on, damn. He exited the stage as the band struck up the official festival anthem. I spent the rest of the evening alternately watching the festivities and conversing with local politicians. By the time we got back to the hotel, I was exhausted. But thanks to the festivities still raging outside and the sound of Monica tossing and turning beside me, I couldn't sleep at all. You know, there's some silver lining thinking, but hey, at least we're still sleeping in the same bed. That night could have easily ended with me on the couch. Or her on the couch. Hey, if she believes in equal rights and all that, then she can sleep on the couch if she doesn't want to share a bed with me. But, yeah... I'm curious about the repercussions of that. I really wonder. See, I would give her... I would love it if she ended up organizing, like, women's rights movements and stuff in the kitchen. Because she's like, next time I'll stay in the kitchen, and she was obviously being sarcastic. But it would be such a good, just like... what's the word I'm looking for? Just a great way to, like... Just to stick it to me, you know? Oh, it's a Fiddler on the Roof joke. Okay, no, yeah. Sorry, definitely, that one went over my head. Regardless of how fast my reflexes might be. The next part will end up with you sleeping with Evelyn and Peter for a month. Oh, okay. It's a different kind of party, Elite. That's not helping to get it out of my head. Oh, the singing, as it were. Alright, let's see what's going on. We got some news, we got a couple of events. What's the next big one over here? Ooh, that's not good. And downtime at home. Yeah, I'm sure things are going to go down. Gang violence reduced. Nice. So there's some good news out there. The Ministry of Interior has reported that after the police raid on the Skinner and Coronelli cartel supply chains, their activities have reduced in the region. Those operations were only possible as a result of the new resources we received from this administration. It has allowed the local police force to launch inside investigations, purging the corrupted officials, and getting information about criminal networks, said the Ministry of Interior. Hold on, there were corrupt officials who I didn't know about? What's going on here? If you're going to be corrupt, you be corrupt with one person. Refugees of Vernon. Reports from our border at the Wessex city of Vernon show that there are about 1,000 people running away from Wessex military forces towards the Swordish border. All right, do we have carpet bombing technology? How do we clear that situation? Gumren might be in a bit of trouble here. That's not ideal. Take a look at the news before we dive in. Well, actually, Hallsword has this negative report over here. The Ministry of Education cut funding from several universities and technical schools, which caused significant outrage among academicians? I've seen academians. Isn't that the word? Is that a rogue C? I've seen academics, and I'm fairly certain I've seen academians. Is it academicians? I don't know, maybe. Scientists and teachers. The new operational and structural changes in a significant portion of the education institutions will result in a reduced standard of education. There are reports of schools being understaffed and faculties shutting down. Minister Waldo reported that the skilled workers and bright students of Sordland are leaving for greener pastures. Yes, I'm a little worried about this. It was definitely the decision I was least comfortable with, but when you consider our budget still being in the negative and our economy being what it is, we had to cut money from something. And I guess education Education was it, because we didn't want to reduce healthcare funding, because what's the point of being smart if you're dead, right? That kind of makes sense. Kill the like button like Monica will kill Rain. Omkar, that's brilliant. But absolutely accurate, yes. If you're enjoying the show, folks, smack that like button around. Oh, God. Averon, how's it going, buddy? So I've been gone so long. What have we been up to so far? Oh, this playthrough's been a while. Well, we're playing as a despot, so things are taking a darker turn. We've got a secret police. We've got emergency powers. Police are allowed to stop and frisk people. We're throwing more money at the military and the police. It's been a wild ride. How's it going, Averon? Good to catch you around. Seeing you in the comments and stuff again as well. Hope things have been all right. And Natasha, how's it going? I missed it earlier. I mean, I saw it earlier, but I didn't mention it earlier. But I'm glad you can make it today. Hope you have a good time. Hope you're enjoying the... Oh, there it is. Oh, you had a different message earlier. Oh, I see. I'm catching up with chat over here. I'm glad you can make it, though. Is Monica going to make her killer stew again, only with extra bleach and chlorine? Wait, hang on. Is this an actual thread? Yeah, we might. It'd be interesting if we get assassinated by our wife. The president is getting a divorce. In other news, gang violence is down a little bit, but it's still all the Blood's fault. I mean, that sounds like a little bit like the Radicals' reporting of the situation. They'd focus on the president getting a divorce and not so much on the crime rates and everything like that. All right. Wellen deploying special forces to Vernon. Raklovitz, Wellen. President Smollett has announced that the city of Vernon has been put under curfew, along with 7 other towns in the northeast of the country. The Wessex Army has deployed specially trained military forces in the area to combat the militant organization known as the British Freedom Front. We should do the same. Wellen has increased its efforts in fighting terrorism, with aerial campaigns and ground operations targeting BFF militants and their hidden bases. This operation will surely have consequences for the region, particularly for the neighboring countries of Lesbia, Rumburg, and particularly Sordland, which has a large population of Brutish people living out inside its borders. You know, it's easy to forget the scale of operations against the BFF. Like, we're talking about, I guess we're talking about airstrikes and stuff as well, right? Aerial campaigns, like, you're not just, I guess you could be aerial scouting, but, like, they're a serious militant organization. They're a bigger deal than they sometimes feel like, because we often think of them as like a small, I think of them at least like a smaller scale, you know, grassroots kind of a thing, but they're a bigger deal than they sometimes feel like. Living up to our potential. Jeez, that's amazing. That's amazing. In school again, supposed to have mixed classes. That wound up being a lie. Wait, how do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by mixed classes. Do you mean like co-ed classes, or? I'm curious. Just maybe a different vernacular used here versus there. All right, Hall Sword. Downtime at home. This is not going to be pleasant. Hold on, folks. I need a sip of water and maybe something stiffer before we have this chat. All right, this is going to be interesting. Let's see the repercussions in full swing here. Hopefully not literal swings. Wickles, no worries. I hope everything's all right. Glad you can make it, though. Glad you can make it. Hope everything's smoothing out now. It felt like eternity since the Benfey Festival. Had it really only been less than 24 hours? I was at home now, drinking an afternoon coffee on my balcony. A stack of newspapers lay by my side. I picked them up one by one, reading and rereading the articles about the festival. Some of the newspapers were merciless against Monica for interrupting Curtin during his speech. A few even called for her to be barred from political matters. Others expressed their support. In any event, I was relieved that the incident hadn't reflected too badly on me. I was putting the last newspaper down as Monica joined me on the balcony. Oh, here we go. I'm going to get tossed over. So the only thing you missed, Wickles, was the festival at Benfey, where we tried to get Monica to shut up and sit down, literally, and she refused. Ultimately, she ran out of, I guess, things to say, and the speech went on. It was a little different from last time. We were a little harsher with her this time, and I feel like we've like crossed the point of no return on that topic, basically. Seth, glad you can make it. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Hope to catch you like in the Discord and on Monday or Tuesday perhaps as well. Have yourself a wonderful weekend if I don't catch you before it kicks off. And thanks for coming through. Have a good one, Seth. Wickles, yeah, people, I'm sorry to hear that. I just hope things are okay. I hope things are okay. I hope people start to realize the situation, the reality of the situation, sooner rather than later. Not literal swings. Whoa. Like I said, we still love our wife. We still love our wife. I'd quote a, oh, damn, what's his name? Jimmy Carr joke right now. Sam Hampton doing that would be like keying my own car. And yeah, she's not in a good mood. Wiggles, she is not in a good mood. Oh, I see what you mean by mixed. Okay. Online and in person. Gotcha. And you're going full on in. Ooh, good luck with that, Avron. Stay safe out there, buddy. Oh boy. What news? Oh, just feign ignorance. That always goes down well. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean all the cookies are missing from the cookie jar? I don't know what you mean. Oh dear, okay. Of course the music had to stop as well. Just like to apply that extra pressure. Exactly, Omkar, exactly. Oh man, okay, I'm actually not sure. What news sounds... It sounds belittling. You know, like, it's obvious which news she's talking about. I imagine the tone of what news isn't so much, I don't know what you're talking about, and more like, oh, which one specifically, dear? Because I don't know what you could be talking about. So it's a different kind of feigning ignorance, you know? I can try and, like, soften things up a little bit. You're right, Arton. I guess that might not be a bad idea. It's like, hey, like, let's talk about this. Make it clear why I was asking her to be quiet is probably our angle. Like, hey, listen. Like, you know, wrong place, wrong time. I understand you feel a certain way, but that's just, you know, the country's not, it's not right for the country or whatever. I got a couple calls for one. Yeah. Sam Hampton. Smash that like button like you're Peter smashing our secretary, says Sam. Oh, goddamn. Oh, the comedic value with the Suzerain like button request is priceless. All right, Monica, I know. We can talk about this. What is there to talk about? I'm a disgrace with no support from my husband. It says so right there. Oh, dear Lord. None of these options. None of these options are the right option. Oh, man. Monica pushes you off the balcony. Streamlabs keeps crashing today again. And I was like... I don't understand why. It was perfectly fine for the most of Tuesday. There's no new updates or anything, and now for some reason it's not showing the game screen. Yo, come on, man. Why you gotta do this to me? Why you gotta do this to me? I just don't understand. This thing has been perfect for months, for the better part of a year, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere. What the hell? Why is this actually... For real though, why is the game not showing? Okay, this is interesting. Give me a second here, folks, as I try to figure out these technical hiccups. Hard to tell exactly what would solve this. There we go. I just had to Alt-Tab like 3 times. That's typically the solution whenever that happens. That's Alt-Tab 3 times. Jeez. Sorry, folks. I'm not sure why this is happening. It must be something with the latest update. I tried looking it up and I couldn't find any solutions or anything when it started happening last week. But hopefully it's not here to stay. It's a pain, that's for sure. But we are back. We are back. I never like to update, not broke, don't fix it. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, Fussin. But this latest update had some, I forget exactly what it was now, but it had some features that I was like, oh, those would be good. So I updated, and yeah, I normally wait for like, if it's like a 1 point, let's say 4 update, I normally wait for like a 1.4.1 or 1.4.2, like give it some time for all the bugs to be ironed out. I'm very much like that about software updates, but yeah, I mean, damn, I hope I can figure this out sooner than later because it's been annoying. You like how I say perfect? Why? How do I say perfect? I'm gonna think about it every time I say it. How's it going? Instructions unclear. Sorry, taking a look here real quick. Stupid Work's been keeping you away from the fun. Well, I hope Stupid Works stops being so stupid and you're able to join us more often. I hope everything's all right. Instructions unclear. Instructions is it's like it's when it's 2 words. It's like first name, last name, right? B-Store for many streams have problems these days. What a mess. You mean mine specifically, or do you mean like just a lot of them in general? Because if you mean the latter, that would make me feel a lot better. If you mean mine specifically, yeah, I know, and it's been really bothering me. It's been really bothering me. I do not like this kind of stuff. I aim for perfection as much as possible, and it really like upsets me when something like Streamlabs crashes, when it used to work perfectly. Andrew Bingaman, thank you very much for subscribing, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the show. Again, if you are, you know what to do. Let me know down below. Go all in. Go with number 1, David, you're saying? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking we go all in, yeah. Kind of thinking we double down. Other YouTubers too, B-Surfer? Oh, that's strange. Huh. Awkward timing, especially considering recent events and all that. Monica has hacked the game. Yeah, she's trying to kill the stream like she's trying to kill us. Monica needed privacy to push me off the balcony. No witnesses, kill the stream. I love it. Okay, listen. Come on, Monica. You shouldn't have spoken out. Anton, how could you? First, you deny me the opportunity to speak at the festival. Then you let that dinosaur Lest make a mockery of me and my cause. She grabbed the top newspaper from the stack and started reading it out loud. With her shameful outburst at Anrika, Mayor Curtin Lest, First Lady Monica Rain once again proved that politics is an area best left to gentlemen. With the president providing no support, her challenge to Lest was quickly defeated. The president provided no support. You can't even stand Lest, and you took his side, while making me look like a fool. She started ripping the newspaper to shreds. After all these years by your side, playing the doting wife, you know, my mother was right about you. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, playing the doting wife. Were you just playing? Was that what it was all along, Monica? Second of all, oh man, we're bringing the parents in, folks. It's going down. It's going down. Someone's being tossed off this balcony. This is not good. I thought you were capable of defending yourself. Clearly not. Wow. What's that supposed to mean? Okay. Or I'm so sorry. I understand if you never forgive me. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I don't know. I know, right? Artonicus is like, oh, here comes the mother-in-law. Oh, damn. Throwing some punches now. Oh, we're definitely gonna be single. Call the secret police. Okay, hold on. Do we, okay. I don't, this is difficult. Do I want to antagonize her? What's the, what is the ideal, I mean, the ideal outcome here is we stay together. Is that likely to happen? Oh my god, it's so manipulative to apologize to her right now, knowing full well that we're not actually sorry. It's so skeezy. And it's just like, I think that's why I'm struggling so much with going with number 3. But I see so many of you saying, go with 3. It's just, you know, oh my god. It's one of those things, it's like, sometimes sorry doesn't cut it. You know what I mean? Sometimes sorry doesn't cut it. And this is one of those times where sorry doesn't cut it. I understand if you never forgive me. You're damn right she's never going to forgive you. And that's not all, buddy. Like, you know, it's such a, it's such a frivolous apology, and it makes a mockery of apologies in general, and it makes me so. Ugh. I see a couple of calls for 2 as well. All right. I gotta. You know what? All right, let's do this. It's been a while since we've done one of these, folks, but this is a crucial decision. To hell with all the politics. The political decisions like rarely slow me down, but this family decisions, too big a deal. All right. It's the first thing to fill out whenever you're doing a poll is like voting on, like, what are you voting on? And I'm just like, I don't know what to call this, so I'm just calling it, oh Lord. Oh Lord. I mean, the options are going to be abstain for 0. We're going to have, and then it's just straight up, oh God, antagonize is what I'm going to call the first one. Play stupid is the second option. And then last but not least, pretend to give a damn. Because let's be real. Gonna kick off the poll over here. Again, folks, just wait until PartyBot actually gives the message there. Yeah, polls are for Ola. To vote, you gotta follow the format. It's exclamation mark, vote. You put a space and the number. Okay, Percy, everyone is abstain. Yeah, let's get a poll going. Is this going to be a binding vote? I don't know. I should figure that out before I actually see how the vote's going. You know what? Yeah, it's going to be a binding vote. It's going to be what you guys vote is what I'm going to go with here. This is such a big decision, and any one of the 3 I think is fitting for Anton, which is why I'm like, let's do a vote. Let's make it a binding vote over here. I just wanted to make a Natalie vote no. If you actually want to vote abstain, just make sure you hit that 0 for that vote. Looks like everyone's got the format and everything, so that's good. Cool. Just want to make sure. And again, folks, only one vote counts. Only your first vote counts. But yeah, so like I was saying, each one of these, I think every single one of these is fitting for Anton, which is why I'm throwing this up for a vote. One is a bit more, yes, antagonistic, but you know, he's had it. Like, that's like a, you know, I've had it with you and your nonsense. Like, look, you think you're able to do this, then do it yourself. Well, clearly you can't, you know. 2 is just like, I mean, literally just genuinely taking offense to the statement of my mother was right about you. Like, what is that supposed to mean? It's like, excuse me, we're bringing your mother into this? Like, I can see that being a completely legitimate and fair response, actually. And then I'm so sorry, like, the goddamn, gaslighting and dog whistles. I mean, come on, that's got to be our bread and butter, right? So all of these options make sense. Yeah, voting multiple times doesn't actually do anything. It looks like we have gotten everyone who wants to vote in with their votes. And, oh, interesting. Okay. All right, this is not how I would have expected it to go, but this is wow, yeah, I'm glad I threw this up for a vote because I had misread chat until this vote. We're going to go ahead and close the voting. And the winner is... Come on, PartyBot. Let the world know. Play stupid. With 12 votes. Abstain got 1. Antagonize got 1. Pretend to give a damn got 5. Play stupid got 12. So it's a significant enough winner there, actually. CJ, how's it going, buddy? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Glad you can make it. All right, so we are going with play stupid. So, yeah. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, God. Oh, you know what it means. She looked down at the pieces of torn newspaper. You're gonna have to clean that up. Not sure I can forgive you for this, Anton. But you do have one more chance to make it up to me and offer your real support. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm kind of liking 3 here. So 1 is no, I was right to not to let you speak at the festival. Next time I won't bring you at all. I don't know how I feel about that. Again, we need to present ourselves as a family unit, right? You always have my support. I failed you this time, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's just lies. That's just lies. Or I'll give you one more chance, but this time I won't tolerate it if it meddles with how I run the country. Get rid of her. Your only true love now is Sordland. Oh, Lord. I mean, there's something to that. There's something to that. I don't know. I kind of like 3. I kind of like 3. What do you guys think? It's like, my only concern is give him an inch, they take a mile kind of a thing. You know, it's like, I give her this one chance. What's she gonna do with it? Where is the line between meddling and not meddling with how I run the country? I'm seeing a lot of calls for 3. I'm curious to see where this takes us. I'm very curious to see where this takes us. 3 feels like, yeah, I feel like a lot of calls for 3. A lot of calls for 3. CJ, I'm not sure what, I think I see a beer in there, but otherwise I can't tell what you're saying there, so I'm gonna need a translation. Next thing in the news, First Lady beheading the President. Alright, let's go with 3. I see a couple of calls for 1, but largely for 3. And I'm curious to see where that takes us. Is she able to control herself, so to speak? I'll give you one more chance, but this time I won't tolerate it if it meddles with how I run the country. Hopefully she can adjust her views to our more traditionalist ones. She is becoming a real thorn. No, I am starting to get a little concerned, but she'll be a bigger, because she had support in the crowd. She'll be a bigger thorn if we upset her too much. We have to find that. We have to find that balance, that fine balance. I can live with that, I suppose. Perhaps the festival wasn't the proper forum to air my views on women's rights, but I still need to do this, Anton. I want to officially adopt this cause as First Lady, to actually get involved in politics, not just give impromptu speeches. I could even help your education minister with those reforms she's working on. Whoa, hang on. What the hell? I know this isn't an urgent issue for you, but it's vital to me. Wow, I mean, I gave her that one shot and she really went for it, eh? Oh, I wasn't sure what you're talking about at first, Jazzy. I was like, the what? I thought it was like static coming from the mic or something. I mean, 2 is a lie, but I can't give her the platform. If I give her the platform... See, I mean, 2 is a lie. 2 is a flat-out lie. But if I give her the platform, then she can cause us a lot of trouble. And by us, I mean the nation as a whole and our good, strong, traditional values. Exactly, Wickles. Well, everything she said sounds awfully like it goes against how the country is run. And it's just like, didn't I just tell you that you can't meddle with how I run the country? Like, did I just say that? Natalie, you gotta go. Sounds good. Thanks for coming through. I hope you had a good time. Hope the rest of your Friday goes wonderfully. I hope to catch you in the Discord. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It throws me off that it's Friday. It's been such a weird week. But thanks for coming through. Have yourself a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend if I don't catch you over the weekend in the Discord or anything like that. But again, folks, if you're not in the Discord, don't hesitate to join in. Link is in the description down below. You're giving power away from yourself, and that's weakness, says Averon. Yeah, that's a good point. That's good. Both terrible options. Both are lies. You know, well put. Both are lies. I'm not looking forward to working close together. I'm not. Like, stop it, Monica. I think no. Wickles, that's so true. It's like, where's that option? It's like, oh, Monica, did you hear what I just said? I'm sorry, but no. Leave politics to the politicians. I promise I'll pass the reforms you want. God. Monica turned pale with anger. I had never seen her like this. You know what? Fine. But know this. I will never forget how you let me down. Never. A noise came from the balcony door. We both turned our heads to see Deanna standing there, a confused look in her eyes. Pop? Mama? Why are you fighting? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Look at what you've done, Monica. Look at what you've done. Oh no. I actually don't know. See, if I stay quiet, then she gets to spin this. And clearly she's a master at spinning stuff. Clearly she's a master at spinning stuff. Summon the demoness. Oh no. Why? Is she capable of horrible things? The kid is going to see one of her parents kill the other. Oh man, that's dark. I think I'll go with, yeah, it's nothing. We're just talking about work. I'm not gonna be quiet. Yeah, it's nothing. We're just talking about work. God. Yes, it's nothing. Your papa and I were just having a little disagreement. Come on, Deanna, let's go to the kitchen. Whoa! Ho, 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 ho. I feel like that remark, there's more to that sentence than just the words, you know? Monica pierced me with her eyes as they left the balcony and closed the door behind them. Her words repeated in my head again and again. I will never forget how you let me down. Never. I thought to myself, she was never going to. I mean, at that point, the relationship is over, right? Like, at that point, we should be seeking a divorce. If she's telling the truth, and she's just never going to forget this, and she's never going to forgive us for this, and why are we... Well, the reason why we keep doing this is because we have to uphold those so-called traditions that we hold so dear. Averon, yeah, basically. Why are you guys fighting? Oh, because your dad's a sexist pig. Yeah, she is trouble in this run. I'm curious how this will play out. Ban divorce attorneys in Sordland. Yeah, give her no options. Oh, I should speak to all of them so that they're tied to me, basically. Economic report from Blackhaven. This should be good news. When's our economy going to recover? The Ministry of Statistics, along with the Ministry of Economy and the Central Bank, have delivered a preliminary economic status report detailing that the state of emergency has caused major disruption in the market. The recession is deepening and the financial system is headed towards a potential collapse if we don't take serious action. Minister Hall said that the situation was extremely dangerous. Oh man, you can't catch a break over here. Can't catch a break over here. Hoopler, thank you very much for subscribing, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, you know what to do. Let me know down below. Hit that like button. And don't hesitate to join the Discord either if you're enjoying the chatter in chat. I promise it's not always about shutting down our wives. Funny how upholding tradition is costing you your traditional family. Yeah, it's funny how the world works, isn't it? Funny how the world works. I'm a little disappointed in character, not like as a player. In character, I'm a little disappointed that despite every effort, we're seeing some economic struggles. We're letting the businessmen have what they need, and yet, because we're trying to protect the nation from foreign, harm, our economy is suffering. What is this? You know what? It must be because we have so many business women as well. God, time to pass some new laws. God damn, it's terrible. Okay, before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the news. Oh, there it is. I was like, I hope it's not about the incident. There it is. First Lady disgraced. No support from her husband. Benfey Festival is now in full motion, and the festival goers are enjoying the many attractions set up. However, this year's Benfey Festival started eventfully. In the middle of Curtin Lest's opening speech, the First Lady stood up and interrupted it. With a truly shameful act of display, First Lady Monica Rain proved her incapability at handling political matters during the opening speech of the Benfey Festival. Rightfully contested by Curtin Lest, the mayor of Anrica, she powerlessly looked for help from President Rain, yet received no support from her husband. This move has created questions in people's heads about the relationship between the President and the First Lady. Monica, what have you done? What have you done? That's going to cost us the election. Taxes will increase until you're divorced. Wait, what do you mean? How do you mean? It's almost always sexist, this run. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. You can't see the air quotes. It's traditional. God damn. At least the Radical isn't whining about my... I mean, I'm actually surprised that the Radical has had... Man. It is just not... like, what is going on today? That's like 5 times in 10 minutes. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize for this horrendous display of technical ineptitude from my software here. I need to look into it. I need to know what's going on. Maybe I just need to like do a clean install. Oh, I'm going to lose all my settings. Oh, it's going to hurt. I might do a clean install. We should be back now, folks. No, it's not the ISP, actually, Ricky Cool. It's my Streamlabs. My streaming software has been acting up a lot lately. I got to figure it out. Where did I lose you guys? Or rather, where did you lose me? Did you catch any of this conversation before everything died? I was so caught up in the conversation I didn't see Streamlabs close down on me. Well, listen, the thing is, yeah, so I use Streamlabs OBS as opposed to OBS Studio. OBS Studio I use for recording, but for streaming I use Streamlabs because it's got some features that I prefer. But I might need to change that around. Right before the army stuff. Okay. Alright. Let's do it then. Take it from the top. To determine the current situation of the military and its spending policy, we held a meeting in the White Room. Peter, Vulcan, and Yosef were seated. General Vulcan, Mr. Lancea, let's start with the briefing. Very well, Mr. Vice President. We've prepared a briefing to convey further details about the current situation of our military. Which branch would you like to know about? At an option of branches, I decided we'll just go one by one, so we're starting with the army. So what is the situation of our army? According to the latest reports from Camp Strongarm, currently we field 6 armies, totaling up to approximately 400,000 active troops, which is a good amount. The real issue we're having is the quality, not quantity. A couple of options. What is the current equipment status? Our army is quite outdated by today's military standards. Most of our equipment is 2 decades old. To make up for our lack of modern military equipment, we resort to a large number of soldiers, which is not really a long-term solution. I've been trying hard to reduce the negative effects of this problem. We don't need a modernization program. A standardized purchase of lacking equipment will do. We need more funding towards expanding the military size. Otherwise, our army will be seen as weak. And you caught up. Just like that. Just like that. How do we compare to other armies? What exactly is it? How do we compare to other armies? I think that's the more important question of the 3 here. Or of the 2 here, I should say. One of them is not a question. Rumburg fields about 6 armies, amounting to 1 million soldiers. Lesbia fields 5 armies, which amount to 800,000 soldiers. Volksland fields 1 army of about 140,000 soldiers. Wellen fields an army amounting to 100,000 soldiers, and Magnolia fields 2 armies with a total of 200,000 soldiers. Man, Rumburg with 1 million, like... Yikes, that's over twice ours. And they are technologically ahead of us as well. The sheer size of Rumburg's army is because of their forced conscription laws. Due to their massive gold reserves, they were able to afford it. On the other hand, the Lesbian army is the most advanced, followed by the Volkslandian army. Both of these countries put lots of money in modernizing their military. I'm gonna lean on modernization myself. Okay, cool. A question: how far can you go in debt, and what's the effect of it? I've gone till -2, but I never took too much debt. Well, so in our previous playthrough, we hit -4, maybe even -5 at some point. It can have some really bad effects. You can have your like stock market crash completely as people start to panic about the economy. It can get really bad. And in my previous playthrough, we went down to about like -4 or so. Maybe even -5 at one point, but it can cause some serious repercussions. It's interesting how wild it can go. And Ultra Weed, yes, this is my second run. First run was a lot more kind of middle ground, mixed economy, sock dem kind of an approach. This is a very well, as the title might give it away, is a very despotic run. We're corrupt. We're lining our pockets with the businessman's money. We have sort of extremely hyper-traditionalist values and plans for the nation. Yeah, it's an interesting second run. Thank you very much for subscribing, Ultra Read. I do hope you're enjoying the show. And again, if you are, don't hesitate to let me know. Hit that like button. And if you're enjoying the chatter in chat as well, don't hesitate to join the Discord. Link is in the description down below. !Discord will bring you the link in chat too. Yeah, too low triggers the crash. Yeah, I don't know where the line is, but if the budget is too far in the negatives, it triggers the crash. Yeah, we should buy really expensive equipment with lots of cost overruns and make sure we got some special incentives to keep the contractor. I like where your head's at. But yeah, I do want to upgrade our equipment for sure. I think we need that. Hard to play a good guy in this game? I mean, you can play a good guy. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what you're getting at is hard. It's hard to win as a good guy. What is winning? What is good, etc., etc. Hashtag deep. I'd like to see you conquer Runeberg. We could try. We could try in this run. Last run, the war with Runeberg went interestingly. Let's put it that way. Where exactly is our army deployed at right now? The first army is stationed at the Lesbia and Welland borders to protect the way into the central regions of Sordland. The second army, our strongest force, has been situated by the Runeberg border. The second army has a large mountain commando force, and it is best equipped army because they are facing Runeberg. I missed a word there. The third army near the Agnolian border and coastal areas facing Volksland. And due to our bitter past, we generally keep a coastal defense force, although many years ago the decimation of our fleet still is not forgotten. Do you mean decimation, old man, or do you mean obliteration? I'm curious about another branch. Very well. Let's talk about our navy on the topic of the coasts. Our navy currently constitutes 59 ships with a total of 60,000 sailors and support staff. As you know, these ships are commanded from our main naval base in Conriat, where our flagship, SN Renin, is docked. Does anybody know what SN stands for, by the way? I'm curious. I always love to know what these stands for. Is that just Swordish Navy Renin? It's gotta be more than that, right? Do a professional army but keep conscription? Might not be a bad idea to keep... I mean, we should be able to afford quite a bit, because we gave extra money to the military and the police. So the military should be able to afford quite a bit this time around. Updates change the war scenario quite a bit. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm curious to see how that plays out. Oh my god, Sam. Peter knows all about special incentives. Yeah, I'd say. He's familiar with those. How does our navy compare to others? Our navy is dwarfed by the size of the Volkslandian navy, which has 194 ships, and the Agnolian navy that has 81 ships. We only surpass Lesbia in terms of our navy, as they have less than 30 ships. As you see, the situation is dire. But the solution is not just more ships. To make a truly better navy, we need to equip our ships with modern radar and sonar systems. More outdated ships won't mean much. Interesting. So he's about quantity for the army, but quality for the navy. And I didn't notice that before. But that seems to be the case here. Oh, that's cool to know, Jazzy B. So with the update now, there are more ways to win and more ways to lose, whereas previously there was just one way to win. That's cool. I'm very happy to see that they updated the game so much after release and made so many major changes, really. Alright, which seas does our navy currently patrol? We're patrolling the Markian Sea, the Grey Strait, and the Antichaean Sea. Our navy protects all our coastal regions, however. To make sure we're not thinning out our defenses, we prioritize certain regions over others, like Greater Holsworth. We often patrol the routes that are close to the shipping lanes, especially Markian Sea and Grey Strait. The amount of cargo that goes through that area is eye-opening. Another thing to note is, after the takeover of Helgeland, where our navy has led incursions operations to protect Agnolia, we also take part in some joint navy drills as well. Alright, let's hear about the other branches of the armed forces. Which one? Can you provide the details on our Air Force? Our Air Force currently has 410 planes in the inventory, out of which only 140 are jet planes that are not in great condition. 30,000 pilots and support staff work in the Air Force, and they are commanded from the Mark Air Force Base in Erlery. What are our operational capabilities? Our planes can bomb targets within 400-kilometer radius of their airfield. They have medium-range and semi-effective nighttime bombing capabilities. At any time, we can field 7 air wings composing a total of 130 aircraft that can operate in combat duty. This is enough to subdue most targets. In terms of our bombing capability, we have an average of 100 meters of precision. This is not great, but it is still within the effective radius of the bombs. It's not too bad. I feel like our air forces are... Sounds like the air force is the best of our 3 wings of our armed forces. Want to upgrade our air forces? The Army and Navy are both less useful strategically, and bombing can just about win us the war. I mean, I wonder how air superiority plays out in the game, how it accounts for air superiority. I think it depends on, yeah, what kind of allies we get as well, to Natasha's point there. Now we're making some Fifth Element references. Big ships, big bada boom. Oh man. I've had quite a few Fifth Element references come up over the last month. I feel like I need to rewatch that movie again. How experienced are our pilots? Our pilots have average experience. They have a total of 450 hours flight time with their craft before they're qualified. This gives them more than enough time to get used to it. This is low compared to 1,000 to 1,500 hours in other countries like Arcasia, United Contana, Lesbia, and even Valsland. Normally the hours per pilot should be higher, but due to the lack of funding, we can't increase the training times. Fuel costs are rather high. What do you mean lack of funding? I'll give you guys more money. How does our Air Force work together with other military branches? The Air Force is trained as an independent tactical support branch, which means it assists other branches but doesn't collaborate. This does cause some issues like friendly fire and missed close air support opportunities. There are ways to improve collaboration with joint operation rooms. Something to think about, surely. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we don't have this set up. I'm glad I asked that question. Fifth Element Wiggles? Oh god, yeah, such a great film. I would like to know about the other branches. Any specific ones you want to know about? Actually, let's move on. That's kind of funny. Let's. He cleared his throat. Thank you for keeping your promises. Know that I won't ever forget your great deed. A lot of people around me these days telling me they won't forget what I've done. Thank you, Yosef. Hopefully the allocated money helps our defense needs. Oh, geez. These are all big statements. The increase of the military budget is for national security, which is threatened by Roomberg and other nations. Okay. Or the military is a top priority for our administration and the Sordish people who hold it in high esteem. Okay. It is a pleasure to work with you, Yosef and Vulcan. You are true sons of Sordland who have served and continue to serve well. Okay, I kind of like that. The important thing is we put these funds to good use as the people will need proof of our success in the military. Oh, geez. 1 and 3 are what I'm leaning towards over here. So 1 I like because it's, you know, letting them know where my head's at, letting them know what I expect them to accomplish and do with this increased budget. 3 I like because it's, you know, fitting from a character perspective. I think it's the most fitting. It has those vibes, you know, those very militaristic, very despotic vibes. It's like true sons of Sordland. I mean, come on, right. And Jazzy B, massage them egos. Indeed. If you're getting lag now, you might need to just hit refresh because we're all green on this side. 2 or 3, 3. Yeah, I'm seeing a fair bit of leaning towards 3. 2 is very direct. Military's top priority for Mr. So I guess you have a point there. I think my issue with 2 was that it felt, it felt maybe mistakenly so more like about impressing people rather than doing its duty. And to me, I think the military is about being duty bound. You know what I mean? Being sons of Sordland and serving the nation well, that kind of stuff, right? It is a pleasure to work with you, Yosef and Vulcan. You are true sons of Sordland who have served and continue to serve well. Likewise, Mr. President, I salute you for this right decision. I knew I could trust you. Should we move on to the spending choice? Sure. I want to hear the suggestions. The increase of the military budget leaves us with big questions about how to utilize it.
There was a lot of debate at the ministry, which resulted in two factions of thought. The first faction is in favor of enlarging the armed forces by enlisting more men, while the second faction is in favor of purchasing better military equipment instead. Okay, what is the argument for increasing the size? Some of our neighbors have larger populations, and thus a larger armed force. Using funds to boost our size would minimize their advantage. Theoretically, numbers alone don't determine the strength balance. Enlisting more soldiers to the armed forces could also minimize the unemployment issue. Oh, damn, that's a good point. That is a serious problem, unemployment. And our economy is in the pits. Peter looked at Yosef. Okay, well, I'm not so convinced on this. What other reasons are there? Me neither. Reports show that we lack equipment, not men, for military efficiency. We cannot beat an overwhelmingly large enemy like Roomberg without numbers. Well, what is the argument for purchasing better equipment? The armed forces are behind in terms of military equipment in comparison to our neighbors. We need a fundamental modernization program. No matter how many advanced weapons and systems we buy, our enemies can overcome them. Vulcan had a serious tone. That sounds bleak. I think the conscription conversation hasn't happened yet, Sam, if I recall correctly. I believe that comes up later in a separate conversation. It's not come up yet, though. At this point, your unemployment would be around 20-something%, right? I think so. Peter does have a point. I don't know if we can check our unemployment. See, I know with other countries we can, like, hover over their country information to get some details. Unemployment isn't one of those details anyway, and I don't think it shows up in any one of these descriptors as like a percentage or anything. But unemployment is a huge problem. We have massive unemployment, and it's a part of what's hurting our economy because people don't have spending power. If you don't have spending power, you're not able to, power the economy. Damn. Averrodd, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Military wants $2 billion for a plane full of fuel. Sure. Teachers want electricity and plumbing. Look, listen. Our forefathers didn't have electricity and plumbing. They did just fine. Oh, man. What do you guys think? I mean, I typically I would go for quality over quantity. I feel like I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a despot. Despite the unemployment, I feel like we should maybe stick with quality over quantity. Why can't we do both? We gave them so much extra money. But I think we should stick with quality over quantity. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we provide people jobs if we're not a sovereign state, Like, congratulations, you get to work at the Roomberg government office. Like, yeah, that's not what I want. I think quality over quantity is the way to go. And it seems like chat feels the same way. David, coming through with that super chat, that super sticker. I always love that little pair. Thank you so very much, buddy. I appreciate it greatly. As you very well know, that kind of stuff really supports the channel and these streams, keeps it all sustainable. So thank you so very much. I will very much make sure to grab a cup of, well, in my case, it'll be a cup of tea with that super chat, bud. Thank you so much. Our forefathers charged right in. Just continue the meat grinders? No. Quality over quantity, I think. Higher quality meat grinders for the enemy instead. Quality over quantity always. A smaller, well-equipped force can destroy a much larger one. Sir, I will be frank. Roomberg fields 3 times our force. A modernization program won't mitigate our difference. The era of large assaults and human wave tactics are over. We're heading to an era of modern combat, which requires modern tools to adapt. I've settled on a decision. The generals were waiting for the word. I hope the decision is in the interest of all. Peter, what do you know about everyone's interests? I think quality is the way to go. Yeah, they need pocket radios, exactly. Yeah, set the Blutish 5-year-olds to work in our factories. Get them to improve our education system. Jazzy, that's the best way to put it. We will have allies. Maybe. I think we go with better equipment. We go with a modernization program. I think that's the way to go for sure. John Edmond, how's it going, buddy? We're back with Suzerain. We're back with all the live streams. We're back on track with that, and hopefully, as of either this Sunday or this Monday, back with our regular programming as well, as it were. Just got a couple things to wrap up. Vulcan is a grumpy old man. Yeah, we need nukes. Yeah, I wish. It's the 50s. A little early for everyone to have nukes. Purchase the better equipment and begin a modernization program. As you wish. But the decision will be negative for our old doctor. Glad we made the right choice on this. I'll make the necessary arrangements. See, the other thing to consider is that between the two of them, Vulcan might croak sooner. And if I want support from the military, I need to make sure that the younger-ish looking person, is on our side. Yosef and Vulcan looked at each other. That'll be all for today, then. Good work, everyone. I was tempted to say dismissed because it seems more, military, but I think even people in the army like to be told they're doing good work. I'd like to extend my thanks for your attendance. The meeting concluded as the sun set over the concrete jungle that was Hallsword. That meeting wasn't at Hallsword. That meeting was over at Suzerain or something. What do we got over here? The military has been given its modernization program. The new comprehensive modernization plan aims to upgrade the equipment of a military branch. I guess later on we'll pick which one. Adequately equipped military. The military is adequately equipped to be operationally effective if mobilized and deployed. That was fast. Toe man, the best man. Yeah, it's kind of funny how he's actually grown on me at least. I don't know about everybody else, but I have grown to appreciate Yosef. Even in our previous playthrough, I went from loathing him to being like, you know what? He's got more of a level head than he originally seemed to. So, props to him. Sam Hampton getting Peter's priorities pretty accurately there. I don't know if national issues comes that high up. Decision to improve the equipment of the military was made. Yep. That's the only new thing there. And the news has this to say. Major military overhaul, says the Hallsword Post. The Ministry of Defense has announced a new ambitious military modernization plan in order to solve the outdated equipment issues and other shortages in the armed forces. Defense Minister Yosef Lansea praised the administration for its resolve to form a force that can adapt to the challenges of a new age in warfare. Our nearby enemies won't dare face the reformed military might of Sordland in the future, said Lansea in a formal announcement. To meet the equipment and structural demands, the military-industrial complex and international arms contractors have been contacted. The General Staff made no comment regarding the changes. Alright, okay. There might be some money to be made there. Maybe, if somebody needs some favors. Maybe one or two favors here or there. CJ, I'm gonna need that in English as well, buddy. This is why we try to keep chat in English, because there's only so many languages I do speak, and English is definitely one of them. Natasha, sounds good. Thanks for coming through today. I hope you had a good time. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have yourself a beautiful weekend. If I don't catch you in the Discord before then, hopefully I'll catch you on the stream on Monday, or perhaps Tuesday, or perhaps Friday again for Suzerain. Thanks for coming through, though. Have yourself a wonderful day and weekend. Sordland today has this to say about not the military, but the second Kontanen satellite in space. Chairman Leon Malinev addressed the world, announcing the second successful satellite launch from Rostanor Air Base, which has now reached low Earth orbit. The chairman praised the scientists and the UCOSM that allowed the country to reach space a second time. The functionality of the satellite was confirmed when radio contact was established after deployment. That's cool. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. We gotta play catch up. I wonder if we could hit space, you know? I wonder if we could get there. I doubt it. L1 railway nears completion. Finally, we're so close. The L1 railway running from Hallsword to Lackhaven is mostly complete, with final preparations being made for the opening. Underhaul construction guarantees a timely delivery of all contractual obligations. With Hallsword about to be closely linked to the country's biggest port in Lackhaven, businesses in the region are expected to gain a significant boost and are already negotiating rail transport contracts for the transfer of goods. Man, come on, that's got to do something for our economy, right? I wish I could just see a projection. Just let me see a projection. Let me know if I should be excited for good news to come or bad. Oh, damn, negative presidential approval rating. Why? I'm doing everything right. What are you talking about? A new approval rating poll has shown that we have landed below a 25% presidential approval rating. Our administration's performance has been widely questioned by the diverse poll taken by 1,000 respondents from all the regions of Sordland. Oh, 1,000. That's barely a sample size. Barely a sample size. That's nothing. That's nothing. Discussion on the formation of a new police force. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. This is gonna be dark, isn't it? It's gonna be dark, isn't it? Second Rook, how's it going, buddy? Been a while since I've watched this. Have all your serfs starved yet? People are still eating. Things are looking okay. If they are starving, then we haven't heard about it because we're not paying attention. No, I think we're doing okay, Second Rook, despite the despotic approach. In fact, I feel like that's actually working out for us. Raquel, the plan for Planet Zoo's return is hopefully at the latest next week. I'm hoping to be back on track with my schedule as of this Sunday, but chances are it'll be as of next week, starting Monday. I've got some plans for old and new content. I apologize for the delay. I thought I'd be active as of the 1st of September, but then some things I was doing ended up taking more out of me than I expected. It's been a wild week, and so a slight extension to the delays, and we'll be back at it. I promise you this. We'll be back at it very soon. Things are fine. 25% approval. Doesn't matter. We got emergency powers, so, whatever. I don't care if they approve or not. I'm in charge. What's up? Carl Greaser arrived for a meeting. We're also just now about to talk about our secret police, so, perfect timing also. Carl Greaser arrived for a meeting to discuss the new police force. After Livia informed us of his arrival, Lucian opened the door and let him in. Oh yeah, he's not the only one she let in. Hey, bottom. Hello, Mr. President, Mr. Galati. What a sunny day, isn't it? The weather outside was beautiful indeed. Clear sky and sunshine made the scenery look lively. I could even hear the sounds of birds chirping from the palace garden. Did you hear the sound of Slut Matter subscribing? Thank you very much, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, you know what to do. Let me know down below. Hit that like button, and don't hesitate to join the Discord either. You're right, I need to go out more often nowadays. Weird. It's a strange thing to say. Good to see you, Carl. How have you been? The weather isn't much of a... Yeah, that's a strange thing to... What are you here to talk about, man? But, listen. Good to see you, Carl. How have you been? The last thing I need is this guy to hold a gun to my head because he's upset at me. Good to see you, Carl. How have you been? Very good, thanks to the increased budget at the interior. We've been combating a lot of issues that plagued us. John, 2 economy pips. Things are going great. Things are going fantastically. It's the personal wealth that counts. We'll leave the country when we're done here. My position bears more responsibility now. But more importantly, the security situation in the country is much more stable, allowing people to return to a normal life. Please, have a seat. We don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I'm used to being uncomfortable. He took a seat and corrected his posture. We've been informed of the establishment of the Secret State Police under the Ministry of Interior. Correct. Minister Graf has given me full authority to lead the new force in order to combat subversives and other threats to the state from the inside. The agents we have recruited are the most loyal and experienced. There are too many enemies inside Sordland for them to be found and imprisoned, or the important questions for us is where your loyalties lie. Ooh, okay. It's a very powerful force, one that didn't exist in Sordland before. So, alright, this is interesting. This is interesting. One is definitely, geez. All 3 of these match the whole despotic approach, right? One is very much like seek out potential political enemies, throw them in jail. I never want to see or hear from them again. 2 is like paving the way to having a very close and good friend, and 3 is just a little bit of fluffing, which goes a long way. Second Rook coming through with another thing that goes a long way. A super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. The beatings will continue until morale and approval improves. That's pretty much it. It's like, you don't like me, I'm gonna beat you until you do. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much, Second Rook, for the super chat. But again, as you know very well, I'm sure that kind of stuff really helps support the channel and the streams and just keeps everything sustainable. So I appreciate it greatly, bud. Appreciate it greatly. And I will make sure that the beatings continue until, yes, morale and approval improves. Oh, man. It's true, though. It's like, listen, until you like me, this emergency situation will stay until they might re-elect me, you know? Rooting for 2, Ricky Cool? Me too, kind of. Me too. Because I need his loyalties to lie with me. I just don't know how direct we can be with him, you know? The important question for us is, where your loyalties lie. I serve my country and its leader, President Anton Rain. All right, I would say that's the right answer. I want to make it absolutely clear. My belief in you as a leader is unquestionable. Consider me as your inside man. I would say that went pretty smoothly. Jazzy, I totally feel you with the concern there, but I would say that went pretty smoothly. Minister Graf, though not as inspiring as you are, has also shown great capability. But the more I work with her, the more I'm convinced that she herself might pose a threat to you. Oh, damn. Oh, okay. See, I was 100% like, oh, he says this to everybody he works for. You know, like, oh, that other person I work for, they're not as good as you are. But to say this is a serious accusation. This isn't just like words he's throwing around. This is a serious accusation. Carl is a dude. You know, I like that. Lucian's still a homie. Carl is a dude. I do love that Lucian kind of like goes with the flow, depending on whoever you are. This is great. This is great. I mean, not the fact that there's a potential threat here, but that Carl's already on our side. I could either say me and Lilia see eye to eye on many issues. I wouldn't worry about her. Oh, no. Worry about everybody. You're a despot. Why would she? The only thing that matters is that you only take orders from me and not anyone else. Minister Graf is our close ally in the cabinet. I don't want similar words uttered again. Okay, no. Well, I should ask. I should ask why. I mean, he knows he's privy to stuff that we're not privy to. So as much as like I like 3, I feel like the tone of it is a little wrong right now. You know what I mean? It's like he's trying to help us out here. He's obviously going to want favors and stuff for himself as well. But we need to clear the air here. What's going on over here? Yeah, I can't imagine her trying to challenge my role or anything. But well, go on, Carl. Let's entertain this thought. Why would she? Why would anyone pose a threat? Because of the power they hold, of course. I can easily tell you that she pulls many strings. Ambition is a dangerous thing. Carl leaned closer and lowered his voice ever so slightly. The initial analysis by our agents has uncovered some troubling facts. There are elements within our state that have ulterior motives. What do you mean? May I speak frankly, sir? Oh man, I'm torn. This is what these are when the decisions are the toughest. When there's like 3 ways to say the same thing. All 3 of these are saying yes, but like which type of yes, you know? I feel like 1, you're among confidants. I feel like that's the most like trust brokering. It's the most like it'll have the best long-term effects. But this is when the game's like at its like best and when it threatens me the most, you know? It's just like all 3 of those answers are the same, but they're not. They're not at all the same, you know? I'm seeing some calls for 1. I'm leaning 1 myself as well. Let's build that relationship. Let's broker that relationship and make sure it stays with us through to the end. This has gone very CK3. It kind of has, hasn't it? I like it. You're right. 3 is a command. I don't want to order him. I want him to, as much as I want to order him in the future, I think this is a great opportunity to make him feel like he has, you know, control, like some power as well. Yes, you're among confidants. The reformists are a threat to the next election, sir. The people could rally behind them and endanger your administration. With the SSP, we can resort to harsh but necessary actions to remove these threats. Let's start with the primary person, the opposition leader, Franz Richter. We received credible intelligence that he has connections to Arcasia. Upon further inquiries, we see a mismatch of information between the border guard and the intelligence units. The old guard must have pushed this forward. We should consider investigating Mr. Richter further. The PFJP poses a threat for the next election. It is better to know more. Alright, Franz Richter should be investigated in full. There's nothing illegal, so why even talk about it? Richter's a loyal servant of Sordland. Old guards are trying to pressure him, or he must have some dirt on him. We might need to look deeper. 4 is interesting. 4 is interesting, but if we are buddy-buddy with the Supreme Court, then we don't really care to look deeper into the Supreme Court, right? Like, let's not forget we're scratching each other's backs, right? The Supreme Court and us. So I feel like we should investigate Franz Richter fully. I think he, among all these options, I feel like he is the key threat because we are seeing this wave of support for these like reformist ways of thinking. You know, even consider the festival at Benfi. You think it feels like a nothing story, Jasby? I feel like it feels like an opportunity. I think it feels like an opportunity to remove a political opponent. One is the way of the despot. Kind of how I'm feeling, yeah. Gotta get that 1950s Photoshop going. Remove all evidence of Franz Richter ever existing. Franz Richter should be investigated in full. Yes, sir. If you think he's an enemy, we will look deeper. There are so many potential corruption cases here. Not in this room, though. I'm a supporter of the Emergency Act and the expanded powers given to our police to stabilize the country. We've achieved our goals. However, I couldn't help but notice that certain high-ranking officers in the Swedish police force have been acting autonomously. This is a grave concern for us. The chain of command is jeopardized? Well, after further research, we found that there are some very powerful deep state forces inside the administration influencing our security. Our investigations have just begun, but certain links we have discovered are troubling. Mr. Hawker has financial and other ties to certain figures in the police and the government. He's a dangerous man. Currently, we are collecting evidence in order to discover exactly what his network comprises. Lucian glanced at me with his eyebrow raised. Damn, alright. Alright, this is, learning a lot right now. What I don't know is if we have only one possible target. That's a good point, Jazzy. I imagine if we have multiple, then they'll all, as is happening right now, I imagine they'll all be presented at the end, and then we'll be given an option if it's only one that we can focus on. This is, blowing up. This is blowing up. I like this stuff a lot. I do a lot of tabletop RP, and some of you are already familiar with that. But I've always wanted to run or be a player in a Cold War kind of a thing about subterfuge and about espionage and counter-espionage and like internal affairs. And so this kind of stuff just absolutely tickles me. I love this stuff. Hawker is our puppet master in a way, so cutting the strings may be wise. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, it'd be good to not have to worry about having someone lording over us, you know? And Minister Morgna is very concerned about the Supreme Court and Old Guard. She sees them as the primary threat. Oh, man. I mean, investigating is not a bad idea, right? Knowledge is power, and we should know. We should know what's going on, and then we can make our decisions, right? No, Stefan, don't worry about it. It'll be back as well. I've been missing that game so much. It will also be back. It's been missing just like everything else has been missing. And that's why I'm hoping as of this Sunday it'll be back. But if not, then next week for sure, Wednesday will be the next episode. In fact, Workers and Resources was the only series to get a playthrough in the middle of, or to get an episode in the middle of all the renovations. I just happened to work out perfectly. So in a way, Workers and Resources is one of the most recent releases. Well, apart from Bannerlord now. The Old Guard are good swords. I mean, if they're doing something underhanded, it's for the good of Sordland. Now. As much as we care about the nation, let's not forget about number one. Always think about number one. Oh, Omkar, no, the series itself was originally called a mini playthrough. That's why he's calling it a mini playthrough, because originally it was, I thought it was going to be a 10-episode playthrough. It ended up being 206, yep. Moving, I wouldn't call it miserable. It's not been ideal, but it's still been an overall happy experience. It's just not gone as smoothly as I would have hoped. Moving and renovations combined. Oh, Lord. They were back yesterday as well, the contractors. Okay, yeah, we need to find out about their weaknesses, just in case. Just in case. In that case, the department will keep an eye on any leads. We surely can do that to be on the safe side, even though we are working with them. Lucian, don't tell him that. Let him be a little in the dark. Don't, taint his opinions. Besides them, there are other elements we are aware of. The oligarchs seem to have some people in the inside as well. We've received some unconfirmed reports about Mr. Tusk having made deals with the enemies of the state. Man, disgusting. And it is suspected that they were evading taxes through bribery and exploiting gray areas in our laws. Our investigators in Estord and Narble have also found some suspicious financial activity from some of their corporations. If tax returns were to be made public, it would help us track irregularities in their filings. Oh, okay, this is, yeah, I would say that's more fair. I think the renovations have been more problematic than the move itself, I guess. Blame the Blood, says Omkar. And Sam. Okay, this is... You see, I see why we had so much trouble with our previous playthrough. Everybody's doing something dirty. We were the only clean person last playthrough. Everybody's up to some dirt. Ah, god damn it. So Tusk is interesting because Tusk is lining our pockets. Now, if they're not paying taxes, it's bad for the country. Right? We do care about the success of the country because the continued success of the country is the continued success of us. Bribes and stuff are temporary gains, right? Holding the power of being a despotic president, that's the permanent gain that we're hoping for. Bribery should be eradicated from the system, can you imagine? The oligarchs pose a larger threat to our administration. We need to curb them immediately, or Tusk is an issue, but he shouldn't be our primary target. They're a bigger fish to fry. I feel like one, because the bigger threats are, for example, Franz Richter. He's a political enemy. You know, he could replace us as president. Even our, as it was so eloquently put, our puppet master, he's a problem as well. You know, if we get rid of him, that gives us more control. That's what we want, right? Tusk, I mean, yeah, okay, this might not be ideal, but again, scratching each other's backs, right? We're helping each other work. If first Anton met Despot Anton, how would he feel about his alternate self? I think he might think we'd see an assassination, that's for sure. Oh, we cannot target bribes. No, not at all. Three is not an option. 3 is not an option. Yeah. We need that income flow, exactly. 3 is not an option, because we'll get found out, and he'll be like, oh, Carl will be like, how could you? I thought, what the hell, man? So I think we'll go with 1. Tusk is an issue, but he shouldn't be our primary target. There are bigger fish to fry. So, you know, flag him, but not, don't hunt him down just quite yet. Very well, sir. If he isn't a big concern for you, we can talk about other figures. Marcel Caronti and HOS have also... Sorry, I can't. Everybody's into some dirt. Marcel Caronti and HOS also have a strong presence in the media and many other industries. There are some patterns we observe that are unusual. It really seems like they have a powerful influence in the majority of these so-called independent news organizations. They might not be so independent after all. I do want to work with these guys. I want control over the news media. I don't know what gets us one step closer to that. I feel like having control... See, with Caronti, if I recall correctly, we are already... I met him... Yeah, we struck a backroom mutual assistance deal with Marcel Caronti. That's what I remembered, and I'm glad I remember that correctly. Yeah, so we already have a deal with this guy about how his news agencies will cover me in a positive way. I don't think we have to change that relationship. I don't think that relationship needs to change. Oh, you gotta go, Avron? Alright, sounds good, buddy. Well, thanks for coming through today. I hope you had a good time. It's nice catching you during the live stream, so I'm glad you can make it. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Enjoy your weekend, buddy. Hopefully I can catch you in the Discord or something, but if I don't catch you there, then hopefully I'll catch you on Monday with our Crusader Kings stream. Thanks for coming through, bud. Have a good one. Carl's been very busy. Yo, Carl, this guy needs a promotion. He works hard, man. He's come through with a lot of news. Blame the Bloods. Let's take back our neighborhoods for the good of the... Oh, dear. Will not... What? Wait, what are those last 2 words, CJ? I'm not familiar with those. They have a large influence on the media companies, and we are using that. Yeah, exactly. I feel like we're fine with what Caronti's been up to. Oh God, Jazzy, can you imagine? This is where Surge is revealed to be a crime boss. Yeah. Is there even a government without bribes? Yeah. God. True. True. Now, Mr. Caronti has been very supportive of my administration. He's a close friend. Let's mark him as off limits, maybe. He might not be innocent, sir. But if you think he isn't an issue, then we can move on. Therefore, we need to pick a faction to focus on. We can't investigate everyone within the remainder of the term and come up with a thorough and compelling case. Damn it. Well, the most logical step would be to use the SSB to pressure either the oligarchs or the old guard. Really? Achievement unlocked. Shh. I love it. So where should we concentrate our efforts? Oh, okay. I was not expecting that from Lucian. I was expecting him to say opposition parties. What do you guys think? Here we go indeed, Jazzy. Goddamn. Who owns the Radical? No idea. Some random, like... honestly, it feels more just like a group of, like, high schoolers or something. Actually, you know what it actually makes me think of? I might be misremembering. There's a show, Babylon Berlin. It's on Netflix. It's a German show. Absolutely excellent. Highly recommend it. But there are propagandists. That's the word, right? That are printing their own like manifestos and stuff in like a. Well, I don't want to say too much. If anybody's listening and now wants to watch it based on my description. But that's almost how I picture it. So these guys are just like small operation pretending to be a newspaper with enough newsstands that are willing to distribute them, that they have, you know, some say, I guess. But yeah, if you haven't watched Babylon Berlin, if you like this, if this game and its context and contents interest you, especially this conversation we're having right now, I can highly recommend Babylon Berlin. It's on Netflix. It's based off of a book series. It is a German TV series, but I mean, watch with subtitles, obviously. It's fantastic. Absolutely love it. It takes a couple episodes to get going, but once it does, it's just like gripping. I love it. That show is awesome. Exactly, John. 100%. Seeing some calls for opposition. All right, let's see. Oligarchs give us money. Oligarchs give us money. Specifically, Tusk does. The oligarchs not quite just yet. Hopefully soon they'll all fall in line and start, paying that protection money, as it were. Tusk is the only one to actively give us money up until now, if memory serves me right. I see a call for 3. I see a call for 1. Another call for 3. Another call for 3. Yeah, this is interesting. Want to protect us from the old guard. Arcasia are in tune with us in a way. How do you mean? I mean, Arcasia versus Rumburg works in our favor, if that's what you're getting at. Protect us from the old guard. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'm worried. Like Hawker, the Chief Justice and all that, he worked with us to enact the emergency powers. Those kinds of favors don't come for free. I see 2 more calls for 3. Okay, we're leaning hard towards investigating opposition parties. Oh yeah, Wickles, you're probably right. Arcasia was who Richter was linked to. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if that connection is the only thing they're going to focus on to bring Richter down, and if that's going to hurt our potential relations with Arcasia. The thing about Arcasia is that a relationship with them takes us away from our desire to be non-aligned. We'd be leaning towards Lesbia, but Lesbia is aligned with, or rather allied, I should say, with Arcasia, so I don't know if that'll cause friction there. Why would we be upset if others are in contact with them? Well, so I think it's less about the others being in, about people being in contact with them, and more about our opposition party. Franz Richter is a bit of a force. He's got support. The entire assembly wanted to do reforms, which is why we enacted the emergency powers in the first place. And as we saw when Monica was trying to give her little speech there during the Benfi Festival, there is bubbling sentiment in the general public about just a lot of things that the reformists, the PFJP, are pushing forward as policies. So if that party stays intact under strong leadership, then they could pose a threat to our position, as opposed to, asking for a favor or two. Because at the end of the day, if we don't win the next election, right, when emergency powers have to be lifted, eventually, I imagine it's inevitable. If we don't win the next election, then Hawker moves on. Hawker starts talking to Friends Richter or whoever wins about doing favors for them instead. We're left with nothing. We only have the friends and the favors and all that we have because we're the president. There will be Suzerain. No, nothing to apologize about there. Things have just been really crazy for this last month, so everything's been, way off schedule. But I'm hoping to be back this Sunday, next week at the latest. But yes, everything will be coming back. There will be more Planet Zoo. We will be completing Elite Zoo South. Fear not. We can ally with Lesbia without joining the Arcasia sphere of influence. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. All right, let's go with 3. I think largely people are leaning towards 3. I'm also personally kind of leaning towards 3. I could go either way, but I was leaning towards 3 since the beginning. Lucian surprised me with his recommendation. Let's try it. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, I know. I exactly, Jazzy. There's that as well. 3 is definitely the more despotic of the options. Focus secret state police investigations on the opposition parties. Yes, sir. We'll focus our research and investigation on the PFJP and the NFP. Well, it's been decided. That should conclude the meeting. Good day and good luck, Mr. Greaser. Good day, sir. Carl and Lucian left the room. Alright, saving game. Every time the saving game comes up, it's just like, makes my heart skip a beat. Yeah, the administration has launched an investigation against the reformists, and hopefully soon after the NFP as well. I didn't expect the NFP to be part of the conversation, but that's good. That is very good. What do we got going on over here? Oh, looks like it's time for foreign affairs. Looks like we're dealing with our foreign counterparts in both Agnolia and Wellen next. And by next, folks, I of course mean next time. This is where we're calling it a session. That conversation ended basically exactly on time, and I'm glad that Streamlabs decided to cooperate for the latter, quarter of this stream. My apologies for the technical difficulties today, folks, but we did make it through and covered a fair bit of ground. I mean, there's trouble at home, but the military is looking promising with the conversation we had about the military upgrades and things like that, and the secret police definitely coming in handy already. Definitely coming in handy already. Sam Hampton, that is dark, but also no spoilers. Bruno's Justice Victor has to go. It's the only way to keep the opposition under control, maybe even getting something on him. Yeah, exactly. We are hopefully en route to shutting down opposition parties, fracturing their leadership, and preventing them from gaining any momentum in time for the next election. And then we'll be the only obvious choice, and so we retain control for another 4 years. Find another excuse to enact emergency powers, right? But folks, I hope you all had a good time with today's stream. That is the end of it. We will be back, of course, on Friday with Suzerain again, continuing this story, but on Monday with Crusader Kings 3, and on Tuesday with Phantom Brigade. I'm going to be throwing a poll out, I think, either on Twitter or on the Discord, maybe next week, maybe this week and maybe next week, about what to alternate Phantom Brigade with. I don't yet know exactly, but I think I'm going to start alternating Phantom Brigade every other Tuesday, but I want to swap it out with something that feels kind of has like the same level of intensity. I just don't know what that would be just yet, so I got to figure it out and throw a poll out there. So again, follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, or do both if you're so inclined to kind of get your voice heard on that. And just, the Discord is also just a great place to hang out with a fantastic community, so don't hesitate to do that for that reason either. !Discord in chat. There it is, Wickles. Thank you very much. Bringing up that Discord link in chat. It is also in the description down below, folks. Again, don't forget to hit that like button on your way out if you had a good time today. Whether you're watching live or you're watching it as a VOD, those likes and the comments as well, they just let me know that people are interested. Of course, seeing y'all come through live as well makes a very big difference, and just letting me know that people want to see something on the channel or not. It's going to be an interesting turn of events. I mean, every episode for Suzerain in this despotic playthrough has been... I've been loving it. I've been loving it. And on the topic of things I love, folks, of course, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Huge thanks to today's super chatters as well, of course. As I say, all these kinds of things really help keep the channel sustainable, possible, keep these streams possible, and I can't express my gratitude enough. Hope you all have had a good time. I was thinking about Battle Brothers, but that's gonna be one of the options in the poll for sure, because I'm curious about hopping back into Battle Brothers myself as well. Yeah, Jezebel. But I gotta figure out what the options are gonna be, and then we'll get something sorted. But folks, again, thank you very, very much. Have yourselves a beautiful Friday. Have yourselves wonderful weekends as well. I'm really excited for this weekend because we're finally going to cook our first meal in our new kitchen. It's been so long, and now we can finally actually use the kitchen. We're cooking our first meal in the new kitchen. We're doing some unpacking, some shopping for the new place. We're gonna be painting a wall. It's gotta be great. I'm excited for this weekend. But all that amidst some interesting videos that we'll hopefully be releasing over the course of the weekend and early next week as well. But more on that when they come out, I guess. Folks, enjoy your weekends. I'll catch you in the Discord. I'll catch you during the stream. But until I catch you, cheers.